This week's Torah portion is called Mishpatim in the book of Exodus. In fact, it happened to have been the Torah portion of my senior sermon quite a few years ago when I was a student at Hebrew Union College, and I wrote that sermon about capital punishment, which I believe the Torah in theory is for in this Torah portion, even though the rabbis later make it much more difficult to actually go through with the capital punishment. But what I wanted to mention today is that it's very uncomfortable for some people that this Torah portion starts out with a long list of rules about how to own a slave. For us, we think that Judaism would never allow such a thing, and that slavery is so awful and horrible, and that we don't want to think of our ancestors as having participated in such a thing. The reality is unfortunately even today, there's far too much slavery still in the world. And back then, in the days of the Bible, it was a given for many cultures. And so perhaps the fact that slavery is mentioned and the limits are put on it right here at the beginning of the Torah portion is here to teach us something else. For one, it teaches us that there were limits. Even if we don't like the topic, it was not anything goes. There were limits when it came to owning slaves. On the other hand, you can also look at its juxtaposition to the freedom from Egypt, the redemption from Egypt, and that moment at Mount Sinai when Revelation took place. This is the very next page in the Torah, the very next column as we turn the scroll. And for me, it reminds us that free people, just like the Israelites, they were freed and given the rules on Mount Sinai. Free people have the power to do good and the power to continue evil ways. And this portion is telling us that now that you're free, keep doing the right thing. We are a free people, and it's in our power to do great things. So let's do some great things.